Happy fall equinox, and this equinox energy is awakening us to our karmic cycles, our repeated patterns here, and it is meant to bring up anger, bitterness in the heart to connect us to our feminine energy. Now, today I was doing a personal reading for myself and tapped in with my team to ask specifically what I need to be looking at through this energy, maybe even going into Libra season here as well. And shout out to my fellow Librans. But I have been in a cycle here myself where I have felt victimized, betrayed, where I have been in cycles with partnerships, friends, community in general here, where I have a major trust wound to allow people into my heart, right? So I feel like I'm always having my guard up. I have to self-protect. And although I have been on my journey for some time and more or less have really allowed myself to, break down the barriers of my heart, but as I've continued to move forward in my journey, I have a lot of lingering bitterness here because of all of the betrayal and the deceit that I have experienced in love, in partnerships, in friendships here. And this goes really deep into a generational ancestral cycle for myself here, where a lot of people in my family, which was subconsciously programmed for me here to feel victimized, powerless, hopeless here, in partnerships where I felt that I was so used to being in bad situations. It's like almost like this Stockholm syndrome where to feel peace and harmony and to seek pleasure in relationships just seemed like it was so far away. So I got accustomed in this karmic pattern here to stay loyal to situations, friendships, partnerships in general here that made me feel victimized, that kept me in a constant cycle of illusion, right? Where I needed to feel sorrow to feel love, right? So this energy here for the equinox is highlighting, to show my timestamp, for many of us, maybe specifically this cycle, where we kind of have this subconscious belief system where love and partnership needs to be hard. If it's not filled with disappointment and betrayal and deceit and trickery, that's what's normal, and we can't allow ourselves to leave that cycle, to know that partnerships are meant to be peaceful and harmonious and balanced, and that we all have the power to follow our hearts. And when we continue to choose to stay in this cycle of sorrow and remorse and loss and grief, we're going to continue to attract that in. So when I was doing my personal reading here today, my grandmother, who had passed over on my mother's side, had come through. And it was kind of funny how she approached me, and she was basically telling me what cycle she had gone through in her personal life. And it resonated with me because, again, this is generational patterning. This is ancestral cycles here that we need to break down, that we need to awaken to, because they are karmic cycles that we are unconsciously living out here, where we are dismissing our heart, we're dismissing our intuition here. We're not allowing ourselves to find joy and peace again. We're allowing ourselves to be disillusioned in these cycles, thinking that disappointment is familiarity and we're comfortable there. So if that resonates with you, please know that this equinox is highlighting that, and it's highlighting the anger, the bitterness that you feel in your heart around this surrounding cycle, around the fact that we allow ourselves to cycle into this over and over again unknowingly. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and tap in. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Angela. I'm an intuitive healer channel, as well as energy healer and reader and angel healing practitioner. If you feel so called to follow along, please do. I give a regular energy updates, and I'm here to guide everybody to live happy, fulfilled, balanced, purposeful lives. Okay, bottom of the deck, flow, expansion right now. This energy is here to help us expand into flow. Where are you restricting yourself? Where are you continuing to go around in the same cycle? 444 on my timestamp. That is not allowing us to be fluid, to grow, to expand, to have that self-confidence, that self-assurance here, to know that we deserve better, that we are never a victim of our lives, that we are never powerless when we follow our hearts. And sometimes that's easier said than done. Sometimes we have this view of black and white, like, if I could just pick up and leave, why wouldn't I have done that by now? Absolutely. There are, cycles that we need to dig through the layers. Why do you continue to cycle into the same cycle? Why do you believe that the familiarity of disappointment, disconnection, and discontentment is okay? Right? Now, this may seem a little bit triggering, but it's to awaken us here, beautiful souls, to deepen the fact that we are limitless beings, to reconnect us to our immortal beings here. We are eternal. This is not just this life. This is about us breaking down the patterns that have kept us going in cycles for generations. And if you are in this cycle right now, more or less, this cycle came from generations before you. See yourself open to receive in the most miraculous ways. The divine can use anything and anyone, right? So take an honest look at your current partnerships, your coworkers, your community here, right? Do you feel victimized? Do you feel powerless? Do you feel like you are stuck in circumstances that make you feel like you cannot grow, you cannot expand? There's constant disputes and arguments, and they're telling me hassle, okay? That is not the life that we're meant to live. And if this is something that you are cycling in, please know that it is karmic. It is something that you need to resolve here. Humility is under that. Once you're on earth for enough lifetimes, your old soul will begin to long for non-grasping detachment and surrender. They bring the peace of God. Can we clarify this fall equinox here? Energy, my beautiful angels. It's funny because I didn't even ask them, but they're giving me this energy because they know, what I'm channeling here, okay? To bring us into a space of divine love, to come back to unconditional love, authenticity of ourselves, following our truth, our own happiness here, to let go of those old karmic patterns, those old cycles that are keeping us victimized. It's victimized, and then we are angry and we're bitter because we don't have a resolution. There is a resolution, and it's called following your intuition. It's called listening to your heart. It's about connecting to the heart space and saying, you know what, this does not make me happy. If we are to stay in cycles that continue to make us feel that we are being betrayed, that we are living lives of deceit and dishonesty, we have to let go of that. We have to understand that there's a lesson here. And that if partnerships more or less continue to show up as upheaval and chaos and resounding energy of victimization, it's a heavy victimization that leaves you angry and bitter. That is your confirmation here, beautiful souls, that it's time to let go of this. It's time to awaken to this karmic cycle that is in your life right now and connect you to divine love, to take you away from the grief in your heart, the loss, the betrayal. Because this fall equinox is going to lead us down paths that are going to help us metamorphosize this pain, to transmute, to alchemize, to spread our wings here, beautiful souls, to allow us into a new space and time of our higher consciousness here. I'm hearing a backbone, right? To grow a backbone, to step into our personal power here, right? Into our immortal, limitless beings that we are. To remember who we are. And when we let go of these resounding cycles that are keeping us cycling in grief, loss, anger, bitterment, victimization here, disappointment, disconnection, discontentment, right? With the inability to recognize what love is. Because many of us recognize love as grief. That's where we need to break this mold. That's where we need to break the chains here. I'm going to go into part 2 because I haven't gotten into tarot yet. See there? The grief that we are holding on to within these karmic cycles here, beautiful souls, are we think that self-preservation is the way to go, right? And so when we are feeling like we are constantly having to protect ourselves, we are not trusting ourselves, we are not trusting the others around us, we are going to continue to be in this cycle here where it feels like defeat, it feels like failure. So anything that's coming up here through this equinox here, beautiful souls, is showing you this karmic cycle that is telling you to let go of the grief and connect back to the limitless energy of divine love. That peace and harmony and healing. It's like Stockholm syndrome, right? To heal how we work with others, right? How we collaborate with other people. Oop, I need to cover her. I hope that doesn't get me flagged here. But so my beautiful angel, spirit guides, ancestors, the highest white light, and decreeling my beautiful higher self. We are talking about the fall equinox here. This energy that I'm channeling is making me feel hot. I'm like hot, I'm sweaty, I feel sticky, okay? So this could be a resonant of this energy here where, again, there's this anger, there's this bitterment, we're hot, we're fueled, right? And it's turning into this sticky, this murkiness here, okay? And if we don't let go of it, this is how we get stuck. This is how we get stuck in these resounding cycles here. So can we give my beautiful viewer here some guidance out of this resounding cycle here to help them heal and really truly understand partnerships and, okay, I have the Lovers and the Six of Wands. This is to recognize that you have the choice to take risks here, that you are never a victim. And I put the deck down, and at the top of the deck was the Queen of Cups, right? It's always your choice to follow your heart, right? So if in our heart space, we are so used to being betrayed that we've now come into this space of truly disconnecting from our heart, it's very, very hard for us to receive that true love. Stockholm syndrome, they keep telling me that. It's like we have this perception that's how it is, and that's not true. It's recognizing that's a karma, that's a repeated pattern here. Like when my grandmother came through and was telling me, she was telling me here that she was in this cycle where she kept on returning back to, you know, obviously her late husband here. She's explaining to me here the cycle that she lived in that, you know, she had highlighted for me here. Now, I was being highlighted about a certain wound in my heart here surrounding betrayal, but it was because she was describing to me that she continued to listen to her ego. She didn't listen to her intuition. Her intuition kept telling her, follow her heart, follow your heart. And she did not listen. And that's a major, you know, like that's the gap here in the feminine energy where we are not listening to how we truly feel. We're not recognizing the signs. We're not allowing ourselves to give ourselves the personal power to make the choice to follow our own heart. We're living limited lives here. And then the Ace of Cups, right? This is here to transform our heart. This is here to allow ourselves to have this emotional overflow, to experience emotional stability. This is a huge ending here. Look at Judgment, an ending of this major karmic cycle that many of us live in, where we do not recognize how we are trapped in the mind, victimized. This is judgment on this victimization here. So many people in the collective right now, this energy is coming up. You're going to feel angry. This message is probably triggering. This message is giving you light bulbs. This message is helping you understand that you are never stuck, but you may possibly be in a victimized mentality. You are unaware that you feel trapped. You feel stuck. How can I, and then look at here, the feminine energy, because we are ignoring our intuition. We're ignoring the call of our feminine energy, which is our heart space, which is our intuition, which is our truth, our authenticity, which is directly connected to God, to source, the universe, right? We are isolating ourselves. We are keeping ourselves in the dark from our own truth, from our own feminine energy, who holds the knowledge, who holds divine insight and wisdom to carry us through, to break down this cycle of victimization, of keeping us trapped in powerlessness. We are never a victim here, beautiful souls. I don't know if you saw that orb, okay? It's like God is like coming in and telling you, let's rise. They're showing me a hawk. Let's raise our perception here. Let's have a higher view and recognize the cycle. So this could be a cycle of one particular person, all relationships in your life, right? But once you learn that lesson, and the lesson here, beautiful souls, is to stop isolating your feminine energy. If you are interested in learning more about your feminine energy, my book, Path to Temperance, is available now. Link is in the bio, and it breaks down the difference between our masculine and our feminine energy and how we bridge the gap, how we allow ourselves to reconnect, okay? Because when we're not connected to our feminine energy, this is how we feel. We feel empty, it's shallow, it's cold. Our heart does not feel joyful and light and peaceful and harmonized and balanced. So when we are disconnected from this, then we are in cycles of this, of the burdensome energy that's keeping us feeling like we are truly, truly trapped, and we are never trapped here, beautiful souls. Never, never. One closing message here for my beautiful viewers through this fall equinox. This is your opportunity to soar. This is where you have the knowledge now to take with you, okay? This is God handing you this on a silver platter to have you reconcile with your community, your friendships, your collaborations, the people that you are closest to here, to understand who is good and who is making you feel full in your heart and who is making you feel like you are disconnected and you are living a life of apathy and discontentment. Nobody, now, they're kind of like switching up the energy here. They're telling me that you're a badass. It's like they're reminding me, they're reminding you, you are powerful. Take your power back. And the way that you do this here, beautiful souls, is allow yourself to connect to yourself, to your heart. Right? So we could be in situations where it's X, Y, and Z material wise, but then when we check in with our heart, there's nothing there. There's no fulfillment. That is where you're going to find your answers. That is where you're going to cut this out. This is where you're going to redeem yourself, where you're going to allow yourself to transition from this. It's 2:56 on my time and then 56 on my battery. 56 breaks down to an 11, okay? 11, 11. This is alignment. This is this equinox energy coming in and telling us that we are allowed to break down these karmic patterns and these karmic cycles that are keeping us victimized. We are not victims here. It's time to step into our power, okay? And you are allowed to step into your power. You are powerful. You are a limitless being here, okay? So for many of you right now, your guidance is connect with your inner child and invite help to do so, okay? So call on your angels, call on God, call on the energy of this equinox here, okay? Pray, meditate. Ask your inner child, what happened in my life that makes me feel like I am a victim in love, in partnerships? Why do I have a hard time opening my heart to trust people, okay? And this is really gonna blast open a higher state of consciousness for you. Yeah, you're going to have to deal with a little bit of pain. There's going to be that heartache, that grief that's going to need to be healed, but it's going to set you free, beautiful souls. Don't allow yourself to stay victimized because you have the power to release yourself. So I love this message. It was beautiful. Let me know how it resonated for you, how it helped you, if it helped you. If you're interested in booking your own personal message, you can visit the link in my bio, as well as my book, Path to Temperance. Again, that really gives us the details here of what our feminine energy is, how to bridge the gap, reconnect us to awakening in our lives, a true healing journey to come back into our personal power. So until next time, beautiful souls, love and light.